Good afternoon, YouTube. JT here, Serenity Farms Prepping. First off, I would like to thank everybody for the views and subscribers the last couple days. Has been fantastic. We're starting to grow. Hopefully it's my content. Hopefully it's people having the desire to get the information out there and realize how badly we're being lied to and what's coming and what can we do about it. So, with that being said, off my last two posted videos, mandatory vaccines and we're out of time. Both of those were describing what I think is coming and why it's coming. Okay? Now, the fake news here is burying the information coming out of Australia, specifically Melbourne. 5 million people. They're in their second lockdown, started a few days ago, for 6 weeks. This is not a lockdown, what Melbourne is going through. But the worst part, as badly as I feel for the people of Melbourne, let's remember this country willingly gave up their guns a few years ago. Now everything that's happening to them, it wouldn't be happening if they still had their guns. So, what's happening there is the plan for the entire world. Okay? I heard a really good theory yesterday that really started me thinking about why is this happening. Okay? We know that it's the globalist, corporatist, anti-Americans that are attempting to do this to the entire world. Why? Besides the fact that they hate America, they hate everything we stand for, they hate that they don't control us, we're a sovereign nation. Besides all that. Okay, so whether or not this theory is the reason, it's still happening. It might be a little different reason, it might be a combination of reasons, but it's happening because of this. Okay, so let's think back when President Trump first got elected. One of the first things he did was get us out of that Hussein Obama boondoggle, the TPP, the Free Trade Agreement. Okay, there was nothing free about that. It was supposed to be worldwide free trade. Well, the problem is that could not be accomplished for the corporations with the U.S. being sovereign. They don't want us making our own decisions for anything because we're not part of a global cabal. So, when that traitor Obama signed America on to the TPP, and a bunch of other nations also did, you were, in effect, signing off your own country's sovereignty for a one-world kumbaya free trade crap. Well, President Trump said, no, not happening, we're out of it. Well, there's a little cabal of 12 nations that thought that they were going to be running the entire world, dictating trade, money, everything. Product in, product out. How do you control the people? Control the food. So, corporate globalist, who still existed after Trump got out of the TPP, are very likely, directly or indirectly responsible for the release of the pandemic. You want to pull out of our TPP? You other countries don't want to be part of our cabal? Okay, we'll show you who's in charge. We'll collapse every economy in the world. You'll be begging us to get back into a one world kumbaya crap. Alright, so that's a theory that has a lot of validity if you are in tune with worldwide politics. Because there's no such thing as just your own country's politics. It's too connected now. So, whether you go that way or not, it makes sense. Okay, so let's get to Melbourne, Australia, and the complete dictatorial tyranny they are currently under. So, with the second round of lockdowns for them, this is the restrictions that are mandated and enforced very strictly and severely by the Melbourne police and their Prime Minister. Melbourne is 5 million people, okay? The United States is 300, 330. Unless you're Joe Biden, then we have 700 million women alone. So, alright. So, starting off, they have a countrywide, or Melbourne, they call it states, like 8 p.m., 5 a.m., curfew. Nobody out for any reason. Now they have mandatory mask at all times, including inside your own home. Police can do no-knock raids, meaning they show up, no niceties, no hello, kick down your door, enter, and see if you're wearing a mask. If you're not, there have been reports of severe police brutality all across Melbourne to enforce all the mandatory edicts that have been put down. There are reports of police kicking open a person's front door, finding no one, hearing someone in the bathroom, doing their business, and kicking down their door to see if they're wearing a mask while they're sitting on the toilet. Sounds too far-fetched to ever happen here in America? Having a lot of things sounded a little far-fetched, and look what's happening now. But the list goes on. You are allowed outside your home for 1 hour to exercise, as long as you stay within the required distance of your home, mandatory mask, and you may only exercise with one other person. Anybody in Melbourne is only allowed to travel 5 kilometers from their home, no matter what the reason is. Work, shopping, emergency, 5 kilometers. That's it. While you're driving, yes, you're going to be wearing a mask while you're driving, like some of the idiots here in the U.S. There are numerous checkpoints all throughout Melbourne where the traffic is automatically just funneled to armed police checkpoints who are checking you for your mask and your papers. Papers meaning driver's license or a form of ID. If you don't have one, within walking distance of where you are, you're fined and potentially jailed. Maybe an immunization paper if you have already had the virus and have been cured. All products at all stores across Melbourne have been rationed. That sound familiar? Every product you can buy at any store in Melbourne, whether it be household, medical, toiletries, especially food, everything is a 2-pack limit. No matter who you are, no matter the size of your family. And it's a stay-at-home order for everyone. They have closed the businesses, and everyone has to stay at home. So, now you know where I was going with mandatory vaccines, and if you don't have a mandatory vaccine and papers saying that you have been vaccinated, what are you going to do? Like I said before, there is no doubt if they get their way, all of these restrictions that I just listed that are currently in effect in Melbourne will be attempted here. One, because we have an election coming in, and if we have everyone locked down, you know how that can go. Two, it's the natural progression of the libtard corporate globalist to force everyone to get a vaccine, because it will be, we've had to lock everyone down for their own safety to stop the spread, and the only way we can open back up the country is if all our people are vaccinated. So do not for a second think that that is not going to be tried here. It hasn't been tried yet because we still have our guns. I don't know if Americans will use them. We're sitting back and allowing everything that's happening to us now without a peep. Besides those of us who are peeping right now. So, it's no coincidence that the piece of crap was Talisha James or whatever, the AG in New York, has came out with the lawsuit against the NRA, which the NRA headquarters is located in New York. For the life of me, I can't understand why it stayed there when there are so many Second Amendment friendly states. But that's none of her business. They are a private corporation where people voluntarily decide to join or not. But as we know, the real push is the NRA is supporting Republican candidates, and they have some money. So the Democrats want them gone to not be able to support candidates. They have also been our staunchest supporters of our Second Amendment rights. If they can get rid of them, it would have negative effects throughout the country. I don't know the full details of the case, but yeah, in any corporation there's been some corruption with finances that doesn't mean they're still not looking out for our Second Amendment. Yeah, I wish it didn't happen. Unfortunately, there you have bad apples who may be doing things with our donations that they aren't supposed to be. Okay, that doesn't mean they're still not for our Second Amendment. They're a scumbag the other way. If they're doing it, let's get rid of them. Let's move on. But they're going to try and push this because they figure they can't institute all this stuff, or at least they think they can't, if we still have our guns. Right now, they're questioning our ability or willingness to stand up for ourselves. They may try it without getting our guns, because we have not proven to them that we give a crap. Okay? So, this Melbourne stuff, don't think that it's not going to be tried in other places. Oh, we'll try probably a major libtard city here, because the libtards just really bend over and take it. Because they believe this crap. Or as long as they think it's hurting the president, they don't care what they give up or lose. They think the government will just take care of them in the long run if their people get in there. So, just wanted to do that update because I studied this, did a little research on it, and it falls in perfectly with what the libtards here want to do to the rest of us to further this agenda. This reaffirms to me we are out of time. So, like, share, subscribe, comment, spread the word. Hit that little notification bell if you're a subscriber, then you'll know when I put out a new one. And let's keep getting the word out. It literally is a life or death situation. So for now, JT, signing off.